Hi, YouTube. How we doing? Greetings. Good to see you. Good to have you. Ooh, that's hot. Wow. All right. Let me go in here. Screen share. Get sound everywhere. Go. All right. Oh, that's right. I had the other monitor on. I was gaming a little bit. There we go. I gotta get a. You know, that's what I gotta do. I need a. Second screen share for my wide monitor. All right, it's going black here for a second. There we go. Very nice. Now I can switch back and forth as I please. Much better. All right, well, now that that's done and out of the way, see what we got. It's been yet another busy day. Oh yeah, Ed Martin has been responding to this stuff here, as you would expect, calling it bullshit because it's CNN. Come on. Even getting photo with Todd Blanche. RFK Jr. the other day, yesterday. Where did he comment on this? Oh, that's his DOJ page. Here we go. Where to go? Posted it. Oh, there it is. Yeah. CNN equals fake news. Never forget, anyone telling you to read or believe it hates you. And then, yeah, getting a photo in with Todd Blanche. So, would seem to shut down the talk of enmity and bad blood. Says he's not going anywhere. What was that retard doing? Sorry, anytime I see that fucking stupid face pop up on my screen, I get curious.
President Trump, we support you. We support ICE. Our country was made for Americans, not for Somalis.
What a fucking moron. You could not manage to look like more of a moron doing that. This is just ridiculous.
True ICE, baby. America first, America only. We'll see you here February 7th, Saturday, 12 noon, outside the Minnesota State Capitol.
This fucking guy, dude.
President
When
Trump.
is enough enough? I just don't know. I don't know. What a train wreck. What? Yeah, dear God. Oh, and guys up here so I can see.
Trump, we support you. We support ICE. Our country.
Ridiculous pro wrestling charade after charade after. Yeah, exactly. It's beyond weird. I mean, does he? Who's giving him the money to do this? Okay, remember the big giant ass fucking bus at that one event that like 3 people went to? Anyone remember this? Anyone remember this shit? This was back when he was running with that fat fuck idiot. Was he Somali or Sudanese? I forget. Philip. Fat Philip. I forget his name. I forget his fat ass last name. Sorry. He stopped running with him because clearly that was foolish. I mean, Philip just somehow ended up being more of an idiot than Jake every time, which of course stole his shine. And can't having that. Just man. But yeah, anyone remember that shit? They had like a bus and Jake Lang and Philip Anderson. Fat Philip. Where's their bus? This fucking ridiculous shit here. Look at this. Oh, sorry, it's an RV. It was an RV, my bad. Whatever. Same difference. Where the heck did that sweet cash come from? Because 3 people showed up here. He's clearly not. Certainly, at least at the time, I'm sure now too, wasn't raking in the cash as a streaming influencer, despite his pathetic failed attempt to launch a show. I wonder how that's going. Or did he just leave that behind, that flop? And the money's coming from somewhere, dude. He clearly doesn't have a job. Because who else has time to run around the country doing this shit with fucking painted RVs branded with your shit? Oh, wait, and he's running for Senate. Anyway. Boy, that's fun. All right, let's go down to the bottom. Is Flynn still pushing him? Really? I mean, I know there was a while where they were kind of mixed up, I guess you could say. Still pushing him though, huh? Wow. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at, Roxy. I've been there for ages at this point. I don't trust a damn person out there. None of them. In the admin, out of the admin, on media, social media, old media, new media. I'm not saying I don't like. I mean, I like a lot of them. Like a lot of people in the admin. I like them doing well. I like to see them do well, but sure ain't gonna trust them. Yeah. Others, it gets a little heavier. I don't trust them, and I sure as fuck don't like them. Jake's one of those. Yeah. All right, that's yesterday. A couple days ago. Way back. We are. Boy, I like that mouse wheel though. Okay. Thursday, February 5th. Vance kids at the end. Where are they coming from? Or going to? I like the fancy hats. Those are really fancy hats, actually. Wow. They got the fun. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were with the Olympic kids, young people. I think there's some clips of him talking to some of the. Yeah, here you go.
Is rooting for you guys, and everybody's cheering for you. We're so excited to be here. This has been the highlight of my time as vice president, to get to come to bring my family to root for the Olympic team. But let me just say personally, like I'm amazed by the combination of excellence and hard work that it takes to get here. Everybody.
Yes, JD, that is indeed the entire point and draw of the Olympics. Saw those. Okay. President Trump has just made his Super Bowl victor pick. All right.
I have a feeling this is going to be a great Super Bowl. I've watched all season. I've seen these two teams just win, win, win. And I see two great quarterbacks, young, great quarterbacks. It's going to be a fantastic Super Bowl, and everybody wants to hear who I pick. And I'll tell you what, I have a feeling this is
rolling.
It's going to be a Super Bowl, and everybody wants to hear who I pick. And I'll tell you what, I have a feeling.
That's hilarious. That was great.
Right hand, you solemnly.
Oh, this was so cool. I saw him post this. This is so freaking awesome because this is like one of my favorite old movies, just movies generally. So good. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
The gentleman will raise his right hand.
Jimmy Stewart, great American.
You solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without purpose of evasion, and that you will well and
Directed by
faithfully
John Huston. Remember, another great American.
discharge the duties of the office upon which you are about to enter. So help you God. So help you God.
I do. I know Jefferson Smith, and I will personally vouch for him.
There's been a big mistake.
Why don't you tell the people the truth for a change?
You're not a senator. You're an honorary stooge.
This country is bigger than the Taylors, or you, or me, or anything else. Great principles don't get lost once they come to light. They're right here. You just have to see them.
What a film.
Somebody will listen to me.
You never seen that? Like, you really owe it to yourself to see it. It is heartwarming, hilarious, thrilling drama made back in 1930s. What year was that even made? 1939. 1939. Coming dang close to 100 years old. Pretty amazing too, by the way. I have to tip my hat to whoever it was that made that modern trailer. I don't know if this is like Criterion or something that's doing this. Mention it's there's something about 4K in there. Yeah, no. Yeah, I wonder if this is like a Criterion DVD release or something. They did a fantastic job with that. Yeah, Congressman Barry Loudermilk's out. One of the heroes of pushback against all the J6 madness. One of the good ones. Announced he will not be running for re-election.
I just wanted to get you one more piece of breaking news. It just happened while we were playing that audio clip. Congressman Barry Loudermilk, the chairman of the January 6th investigation, the man who gave us so many of those great revelations and turned the tide and the narrative on January 6th, he just announced he will not run for re-election this year. He's the 29th House Republican who's abandoned their re-election bids this year. A lot of open seats going to be in 2026. All right.
Yep. A lot of open seats. Quite a few. Yeah, this is big news. Starlink fuels SpaceX growth with news of a potential phone. Has been floated for forever. It was originally as an X phone, I think, was people originally kind of, maybe Elon himself even talked about doing, but the obvious move is Starlink, specifically waiting for it. Clearly where I think he intended to go all along. Pretty interesting. Starlink phone. I wonder what they would do for operating system. I mean, yeah, Elon has said on a number of occasions that they are not doing a phone. I don't know when the last time that was. Tesla isn't building a phone. They're leapfrogging the entire concept. Device in your pocket won't be a phone anymore. It'll be a super thin AI edge node screen with radios that pings Grok and XAI servers. Everything in real time. Well, I'm sure that's where it's going to go eventually. I don't know that it's quite there yet. The efforts to do exactly that so far have been, frankly, started. So, I don't know. But so he repeated it today, huh? Repeated today. No, I don't see it there, but whatever. You'd think their search would just pull it up like that. Sometimes it just yes. President Trump's interview with the llama guy, Tom Llamas.
Into the news today. That big change on immigration.
Is that how llama sounds?
700.
Okay, I've got to know. It bothered me yesterday. Now I've got to know. They laugh. What the fuck? More, please. It was not quite what I expected. Okay, Mr. Lamas.
Officer.
Oh, this is like the whole last thing. Okay, we're gonna skip that. Maybe take the highlights if there's further highlights. I guess Trump did speak today. Oh yeah, the National Prayer Breakfast. That's right.
School choice so that every parent has a chance to send their child to a school.
This freaking mouse wheels doing goofy stuff.
School that shares their values. And today I'm also pleased to announce that the Department of Education is officially issuing its new guidance to protect the right to prayer in our public schools. That's a big deal.
Justice Department recently charged 9 individuals for the church in Minnesota.
It's violent. I saw the people sitting there, Pam, and they were scared. Some were scared and some were holding up their hands like, I believe in God. But they were violent people. Screaming, your parents are Nazis. Your parents are Nazis. The people are sitting, and I thought the minister was great. He was so calm and good. They're screaming at him, terrible, right in the middle of a church service. It's got to be illegal. I mean, Pam is doing it. I'm not doing it, but Pam is doing it. And I'll tell you, people are happy with the job that's taking place because they're bad people. They're bad people. You have one Trump hater in particular. It's just, I watched his performance. It was terrible. They tried to use freedom of the press and all this to get out of a criminal event. But that was a horrible thing to witness. And if we allowed that to go on, you wouldn't be able to have a church. No, everybody would be afraid to go to church. And that we are not going to allow, are we, huh?
Cut that shit out.
The pure in heart. The scriptures always tell us that blessed are the pure in heart. I don't know if that applies to me necessarily. I'm not so sure. I don't know, Paula, does that apply to me? I'm not sure. I try. But we're joined this morning by two incredible young American patriots and believers who show that, that's so true. Last summer, Emma Foltz and London Smith were both camp counselors at Camp Mystic, the Christian girls' camp in Central Texas. One of the worst things I've ever seen. On that fateful night, 20 inches of rain fell in a matter of minutes. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And the river rose 20 feet in literally 30 minutes, leaving utter devastation and destruction. Emma bravely helped lead 14 precious little girls to safety. And London, seeing the water rise, gathered with other girls at the top of their building and prayed. They just prayed and prayed.
Wow.
And as they prayed, the water miraculously stopped rising. Just a few inches from their feet, it was going to overwhelm them. Anybody in the cabins were gone. Anybody in the cabins were gone. Who would have known? They thought the cabins were the safe place to be. It wasn't. Then the water began to retreat, and many hours later they were finally rescued. As you know, many young people died that night. When asked what she hopes others to take away from her story, London said, "This life is not promised. Our breath every minute is not guaranteed. Because of that, we shouldn't take life for granted, and we should just live it well." I mean, it was just an amazing statement. I saw her make the statement. Young girl making that statement. Incredible, actually. Very complex statement. Smart, but true. London, I know exactly what you mean, and I want to thank you both for being here and your remarkable, incredible courage. It's been really amazing. And if you could at least stand, I said, would you like to speak? And they said, well, we're a little shy, but you know what? You may be shy, but you're very brave. Would you please stand? I went to the camp a few days after the flood. It's with First Lady, and it was devastating. I met parents. It was just, this could be nothing worse than that. It was a horrible, horrible moment. Almost 250.
Wow. Oh. Oh well. We'll keep going. Besant testifying for Senate on Trump economy today. I think I saw a few. That they arrested this guy, Antifa Kyle. Where's Billy Badass Antifa Kyle? I mean, where's like the big shootout, dude?
My name is Kyle. I'm Antifa.
Or did you just bend over like a bitch?
And there's so much rage in me that I've had to record this like 15 times trying to get the message out.
Where was all that rage, man?
They fucked up, okay? Go watch my other videos. Doesn't matter if you're not here and you're not caught up. You missed the fucking fight. But if you are...
Where was that fight, man?
It's time to suit up. Boots on the ground.
Oh, yeah, you're suiting up all right. In a fucking orange jumpsuit.
Nicollet and fucking 26th. My house is 4 blocks away. Anywhere between Franklin and Nicollet and 26th and Nicollet. Show up, ready to go. Okay, not talking about peaceful protests anymore. We're not talking about having polite conversations anymore. I am talking specifically to my fucking followers. This is everything I have fucking talked about, and this is exactly what I said was gonna happen. This is exactly what I said was gonna fucking come when we didn't fucking go and march on fucking Whipple with guns.
Yeah, where were those guns, man?
Sorry, but...
Boy, it kind of... I didn't hear about any kind of big Wild West shootout. Kind of sounds like you bent over and took it.
Welcome to America 2026, where Second Amendment is the only thing that's going to keep you fucking protected from literal fucking Nazi gunmen that are killing innocent people in the street with impunity. This is not a fucking joke. There's nothing fun to chant about it. Get your fucking guns and stop these fucking people.
So how'd that go? Here's Todd Blanche posting about it. Justice Department and ICE Gov HSI arrested a self-identified anti-ICE Antifa terrorist in Minneapolis today. Conspire and threaten to assault, kill, and dox officers, and you'll find yourself in federal custody, facing the full force of justice. Bye-bye. Antifa Kyle. Nick Shirley reveals, a Fox Nation interview. Reveals his security informed him the left put out hits on him against his life simply because he exposed the fraud. Not surprised.
I'm getting a little bit more fearful for what's happening in my life and what's happening with the life of my family, as you've seen not only attacks from like the mainstream media, but more so attacks from just people on the internet saying outlandish things about you and your life.
Our second day at the hotel, they said that we needed to move hotels because our word was out as to where we were staying. And we were told by the security that Nick was the #1 man, like they had a hit on you, is what they said. So it was very frightening. It was very frightening.
Lots of death threats. I mean, people have sent me photos of people in ditches saying this is going to be you, and people have openly said that if you see Nick Shirley, tell him to kill himself. Now I am getting a little bit more fearful for what's happening in my life and what's happening with the life of my family, as you've seen not only attacks from like the mainstream media, but more so attacks from just people on the internet saying outlandish things.
Looping. There we go. Oh yeah, this is ridiculous. A board used to patch the broken front window of an apartment building following a federal raid here in Minneapolis. I wonder if this was Antifa Kyle's apartment. Fucker. Okay.
asked if this was immigration or criminal.
Ed Martin talking about who here? Right man for the job. Republicans should be excited that the ATF director position will finally be filled. Robert Cicada. Cicada Scada. Tomato. I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's good. Okay. Oh, where did our that's weird. There it is. Federal immigration authorities have confirmed that a large warehouse on San Antonio's east side will be converted, oh yeah, into an immigration detention facility. Gotta put them somewhere as they move them on out. Sign. Very good sign. Gotta have that infrastructure in place. Davos Forum says open inquiry into CEO Brendy's Epstein links. Which CEO? Of what? Oh, president of the World Economic Forum. Aha. Former Norwegian Foreign Minister Borge Brendy, age 60, has since 2017 been president of the WEF, which organizes Davos each year. The WEF seeks to clarify recent disclosures regarding its president and CEO, Borge Brendy, and he's participating in 3 business dinners with Jeffrey Epstein, along with subsequent email and SMS communications. Yeah, I'm sure there's totally nothing going on there. Yeah. Whole bunch of interesting stuff appearing in those. Introducing himself as representing the Rothschilds, like talking about how their families go way back, all the way back to like Nazi Germany and before. Really weird stuff in these, gotta say. Then there's the talk about the stage 3 abuse victim. What was it? Right on X. There you go. She's the classic stage 3 in the model. An outlier who's intelligent, who was traumatized when she was young, sexual abuse, started to develop special abilities. This is someone talking to Epstein. Gino Yu, who is a professor at Hong Kong University, professor of video game development. Really weird. Remember all of the research that Epstein was engaged in on like the brains of young people? What did they find? We keep seeing these themes in shows like Stranger Things.
What's the weirdo doing?
Threw up a compass. Why would you do that? Because she's trying to sabotage our mission. Because she's a traitor. Admit it!
Come on, where do they show we're doing? Yeah, there you go. Able to move things with her mind. What are some other recent cultural touchstones that have like had the same thing? Oh, the OA. I mean, this one wasn't quite as big as Stranger Things, but still same kind of thing. Oh, and then then there's the fact that the entire show, Stranger Things, seems to be about specifically how abuse of children causes special abilities. The main protagonist.
So free. It's like I could fly.
Uh-huh. This is the kid who's singled out because he's clearly been abused as a child sexually. I don't know that they quite spell that out literally in the show, but they more or less do. Here you go.
Long rest. We can begin.
I mean, hello. So in your face. Like what is it that these people know? And have apparently known for a while now that the rest of us don't. This Gino, you guys know nobody. There he is. New agey kind of. There you go. I haven't watched any interview material with him. Let's see. Curious how he comes off.
Unconsciousness. There's this whole area of psychosomatic medicine that shows that how the mind, the mental state, can help the physical state in different ways. But that's very much mediated by the physical hormones and things going on. When you talk about the interaction between the mind and the body, is there some deep spiritual nature there, or just purely physical?
It seems like he's pretty obsessed with the topic.
Activities going on.
Well, right now,
just like Epstein,
spiritual is an unknown term, and we can argue that or discuss that for a long time. I'd rather focus on things that we can really talk about, and really.
And it's interesting that very topic seemed to pop up on a number of occasions in the conversation between Steve Bannon and Jeffrey Epstein. So, speaking of whom. I gotta say, there's a lot of creepy shit regarding Steve Bannon in the Epstein files too. Like really concerning, creepy stuff.
Related to this,
I like Bannon. That is someone that likes Bannon. There's some really weird, frankly, just scary stuff.
Understanding the relationship between the mind and the body, and so physically we're here, but in the realm of conversation, we seem to be somewhere as well. And so the question is, what is the relationship between this mental space and the physical body? And how did this mental space come about? And how did the mind come about?
Okay.
And so for that, we've been looking at developmental psychology and child development. And arguably, just when you turn a computer on, where a computer has to load its BIOS and the hard disk spins and the operating system loads up, for the mind to develop, there seems to be.
Like what, says anyone? Oh, like bathtubs full of acid, contractors that were hired to do work on the property, like on Bannon's property, refusing to go in because he was so terrified of them, and claimed that house and the people that lived in it were so evil that he just wouldn't go in there. I think there's even photos of the bathtub. There's some weird shit, dude. Really, really creepy stuff. me see if I can find any of that. I think there was a post up there that was talking about it, referring to it, but oh, there you go. Reports from 2017 confirmed that Steve Bannon's landlord in Florida emailed him in February 2015, complaining that a jacuzzi bathtub in the rented home was covered in acid, as in like caustic acid, kind that burns you. Very weird. There's more than that too. And then yeah, there's the whole thing like with where's the effing footage, man? Where's the Epstein footage that has been just apparently sitting on his hard drives for a decade or more? We got 2 hours of it, but there's like 15 plus total. We've only gotten 2 hours of that interview. And that we don't even know where that came from. Like who released that? Was that part of the files? Did it come out as part of the files? I don't know. Weird stuff, man. All right, there we are. That's about where we were. Clintons are going to Clinton and try to spin the facts. GOP Oversight Committee says, of course they're going to try and do that. They're slimy. They're slippery. What do they call them? Slick Willy. We're not going to debate what the meaning of the word is. U.S. and Russia agree to reestablish, high-level military-to-military dialogue. CENTCOM shares new footage from USS Abraham Lincoln sailing near Iran. Nice time lapse. Cool. Look at that. Neat. Fun. Oh, here we go. Wait, really? Hold on. What? Really? Why would she? That's a odd move. Hillary Clinton calls for public hearing in House Oversight Panel's Epstein probe, not a deposition, like closed door. She wants it to be public. Cameras on. I would be in favor of that because I would like to go. I would like to be able to go. I would love to go. Please make it public. Please take her up on that shit. Mr. Comer, please do it. I don't know what kind of bullshit shit she's got up her sleeve. Kind of Clinton trick this is, but I want to be there to see it. So a little selfish, I guess. So she posted on X, I guess, this morning. Yeah. For 6 months, she says, we engaged Republicans on the Oversight Committee in good faith. We told them what we know under oaths. Why don't I believe you? They ignored all of it. They moved the goalposts and turned accountability into an exercise in distraction. So let's stop the games. If you want this fight, Rep. Comer, let's have it in public. Love to talk about transparency. There's nothing more transparent than a public hearing. Cameras on. We will be there. Comments, of course, are turned off. I don't know who these two comments are. Oh, her friends. What the hell kind of bullshit is that one show? Insane. All right. Well, bring it on. I'd like to see it. Tonight at 7 p.m. Oh, yeah. Saw when you mentioned this in chat earlier today. President Trump, Dr. Oz, and the National Design Studio director Joe Gebbia will be unveiling Trump RX tonight at 7 p.m. Just making sure I'm not missing any deals there. I got my deal alerts set up still. Oh, no way. There is one I might want. Is it close to me? Remember how I mentioned I wanted one of those folding screens? Might have one here. Ah, not available. Not available near me. Local only. I hate when they do. Just ship it to me already. I'll buy it. Just come on. It's like $40. It's a killer deal. Do that in a heartbeat. Let's see. Nike is under federal probe over its anti-white hiring practices. Ooh. Yeah, it was one of these guys. I don't know which one it is. It's probably this kind of cheaper one, but nice little travel screen. It'd be so nice to have one of those on hand for especially it's like $48, man. Kick-ass deal. You just got to be in the right area. Like open box returns. All right. Oh, Ed Martin's asking for prayers for his mother. Cancer plus complications today. Her name's Virginia Martin. China syndrome. What? Biolabs in California and Las Vegas. Raided by the FBI. Tied to indicted Chinese national. We heard about that raid the other day. Doesn't mention which Chinese national, but of course. ICE detaining illegals in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Hey. Yet again, liberal activists happen to be at the exact location, at the exact time, ready to harass them. What are the odds?
Dirtbags! Dirtbags! Get a real job!
Says you. Look who's talking, bitch.
Dirtbags!
Back up! Back up! Back the fuck up!
Dirtbags!
Back up!
Get out of my car! Show your faces! Show your faces!
That was excellent.
Dirtbags!
Back up!
President Trump just posted that at least half a dozen people in Congress are not legitimately elected, and that mass mail-in voting must be abolished.
And then, of course, President Trump wants same-day voting, mail ballots, get rid of these voting machines. There's a half a dozen people, whether it's the House or Senate, Larry, that are up here as we speak, that did not get elected. It was all bogus because we've seen the evidence, and if we don't straighten that out, you're going to see a lot more of it this fall, and it's just going to get worse and worse with the American people saying, listen, we got all y'all up there and you don't do anything to straighten it out. We want closed borders and we want fair elections. Those two things they are demanding, and as Republicans, we had better to listen to them and do that, or we're going to lose next fall.
A lot of states, you know, don't even have an ID picture. And by the way, I vote in the state of Connecticut. You don't need an ID. You don't need a picture. You could show them a credit card, Senator. Anybody can get a credit card, any kind of credit card. You could show them a debit card, and that's sufficient. Many states allow driver's licenses. Well, anybody can get a driver's license. Some states are allowing illegals to get driver's licenses for commercial purposes. So the SAVE Act would eliminate that stuff. It's very important, but you got to make the case. I don't hear many people making the case.
Go figure. Starmer got backed into a corner. He's having to offer comment on the Epstein stuff regarding, what's his name? Mandelson? Yeah.
Let me be clear. No one is above accountability.
Why do I get the feeling that that's a lie?
And no one.
Oh, because it is.
However well connected, however experienced, however senior, should hold public office if they cannot meet the basic test of honesty.
So you?
I also want to address the publication of the information Mandelson provided during the appointment process. I understand the strength of public feeling. I share the anger that people feel when powerful individuals appear to escape scrutiny.
Appear to?
And I want...
How is it? What do you mean appear to? It is or it isn't.
To be able to release those documents as quickly as possible. I wanted to release them yesterday, in fact, and to talk about them at Prime Minister's questions. But the police have advised that releasing certain information now could risk prejudicing a future investigation or legal process. And however frustrating from my personal point of view that is, and it is, I will not take any step, however politically tempting, however popular, that risks justice for victims. Because this is not and must never become a political game. The victims of Epstein have lived with trauma that most of us can barely comprehend. And they've had to relive it again and again. They have seen accountability delayed and too often denied. To them, I want to say this. I am sorry.
Oh.
Sorry for what was done to you. Sorry that so many people with power failed you. Sorry for having believed Mandelson's lies and appointed him. And sorry that even now, you're forced to watch this story unfold in public once again. But I also want to say this. In this country, we will not look away. We will not shrug our shoulders. And we will not allow the powerful to treat justice as optional. We will pursue the truth. We will uphold the integrity of public life. And we will do everything within our power and in the interests of justice to ensure accountability is delivered. That is what the public expects. That is what the victims deserve. And it is what I will do.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Oh. Interesting. This sounds like a good one to watch. John Solomon reports, grab your popcorn, kids. It's finally happening. Looking into the fraud in Georgia and Arizona.
We were told by Chris Wray and other officials after the 2020 election, we had a perfect election. There were no major foreign intrusions or foreign attempted intrusions in the 2020 election. I pretty quickly debunked that about a year later when I reported that Iran actually had hacked into a battleground state's registration system and downloaded more than 100,000 identities and was using them. Eventually, 2 guys got indicted in Manhattan. That's a really significant intrusion. That was not what Chris Wray told us. Then we learned from Kash Patel a couple of months ago that China was sending driver's licenses into the United States in 2020 in hopes that they could be used to create fake ballot registrations. That is a second really significant intrusion. Both of those are run contrary to what Chris Wray and other Homeland Security officials gave us as statements during the time. I believe that the President of the United States is soon going to be briefed by Tulsi Gabbard and other intelligence officials, based on my reporting, about additional intrusions, significant, large-scale intrusions into various forms of our election system. Now, I'm not talking about getting a machine and flipping the vote, but maybe getting enough of state voter databases that a foreign power could work with people on the ground in the United States to fill out fake registrations for people who are on dirty voter rolls. Those licenses that were sent into Chicago were going to be used to make absentee ballot applications, according to the FBI predicate. By the way, Chris Wray's FBI didn't look at that. They shut it down. If a foreign power was that far into the election databases of state systems that they could figure out what driver's licenses to send here, the next question becomes, who were they working with on the ground? Who was going to file those ballot requests? I think that's why Tulsi Gabbard was down in Georgia, why you might see her in Arizona, why the FBI will probably be in Arizona, and why the president's about to get a briefing. And all of this new information could have a profound effect on the Save America Act, which is, all right, some people say it feels like we're doing an awful lot. There's not a real problem. These next revelations, if the president were to declassify them after he gets debriefed on them in the next few days, they could educate senators and House members and give them a greater inspiration to maybe go ahead and do the voter ID and the citizenship check. That is a big moment. Tulsi Gabbard and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are driving this. It's been below the radar, but they're doing some really big stuff. Now the president's going to find out what it is, and then at that point, the opportunity comes to declassify it. Let's see what it is. There's one other element to this. If government officials lied to us after the 2020 election, there's still an opportunity in some of those cases to pursue criminal cases against them. We'll see where it all comes out, but that's what's going on in the background of the Save America Act debate right now.
John, if you were in studio right now, I would hug you. You just kind of hit rewind. Hit rewind for 1 minute. As you remember,
sure,
better than anybody, we spent, I think, half of 2021 in the great state of Arizona on this issue. And I know the Arizona Patriots. Just give me a 1 minute summary. When you said the word Arizona, and we're already in Georgia, just give me the 1 minute summary of Arizona, because I know there's so many War Room posse members from the great state of Arizona have been waiting for something to say, hey, what we did, we're not wasting our time. This is actually being reviewed by senior authority. What do you got again?
Yeah, again, I don't think election machines are flipping ballot counts and things like that. I think that the actual way that the elections were administered were in violation of state law. And this is very important. The laws that the Democratic Party created during the Civil Rights Movement and the Great Voting Rights Act movement of the 1960s, something that all Americans are proud of, they still apply today. And those laws say you must, if you're an election administrator, conduct the election consistent with your state rules so that everybody has equal protection in your state. If Georgia and Arizona didn't do that, if Fulton County and Maricopa County did things that were in violation of state law that created an unfair or unequal election, they can be prosecuted under the Voting Rights Act and other civil liberty laws for that. I think that's where it's going, that you can't just change your state procedures in violation of your law because that's what you want to do during a pandemic. That could create criminal cases against election administrators. And I think that when you look at the search warrant that I got to see from Fulton County this past week, those are the laws that Kash Patel's team cited. State officials not following their law and therefore creating a fraudulent election. That's where those two states are being examined.
Rep Luna. Eplina Luna confirms Speaker Johnson plans to vote on the SAVE Act. Voter ID, man. Yeah, more to get to. We'll just keep going. Oh, God. Huh? What? Welcome to Headquarters, the new Gen Z-led progressive content hub. Here's Kamala Harris. Wave you on in.
Madam Vice President, what's going on with Kamala HQ?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. I have good news. So Kamala HQ is turning into headquarters, and it's where you can go online to get basically the latest of what's going on, and also to meet and revisit with some of our great, courageous leaders, be they elected leaders, community leaders, civic leaders, faith leaders, young leaders. I'm really excited about it. So stay engaged, and I'll see you out there. Thank you.
Headquarters 6-7? Did they really name it Headquarters 6-7? Yeah, that'll bring the kids in. Just say the word 6-7 and they'll all fall over drooling like idiots. I mean, some of them probably will, actually, but hey. Nick Shirley's investigation partner David's testimony before the House Judiciary Committee on Minnesota fraud. Ah, I missed this. David Hoke.
My journey into uncovering fraud in Minnesota and ultimately throughout the entire United States, as it turns out, began when I started to notice very unusual changes in the Minneapolis area. Remember, I grew up there, so I know Minneapolis very well. Most notably, the enormous number of childcare facilities that had opened up. I would drive around the Twin Cities, and it seemed these childcare facilities were literally on every block. Some blocks had 2 or 3 childcare facilities on the same block. Minnesota sees a fair amount of snow in the winter, and I began to notice, driving by these childcare facilities, there were never any footprints in the snow outside these childcare facilities. And I'd go by them 3, 4, 5 times a day, Monday through Friday, because my office is in the heart of where a lot of these childcare facilities are. So I said, well, what's going on here with all these childcare facilities? So I began to check the Minnesota Secretary of State's website to find out just who owned all these childcare facilities. And guess what? Every single one of them was Somali owned. Not every childcare facility in Minnesota was, but the ones that I was looking at that were by my office, and there were a lot of them. What's even stranger is that every one of these facilities is located in a commercial or industrial building, no play areas, bad neighborhoods, and several of the childcare facilities had signage which stated they were open either 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., Quality Learning Center, for example, or open 24 hours. Who the heck brings their kid to stay overnight at a childcare facility in a rough neighborhood? None of it made any sense. The leering misspelling was the final straw for me. That's the spark that ignited my full-on investigation. So Minnesota has 2 different childcare licenses available. One covers 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and the other one covers 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. They're 2 very different licenses. So for a childcare facility to be open 24 hours a day or even from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m., they need both licenses. How many of these facilities that are open these extended hours have 2 licenses? None of them.
Testing.
0. They all have only 1 license. Minnesota child care supervision requirements include the following. For infant care, that's 0 to 17 months of age, you have to have 1 adult supervising for every 4 children, and max 8 in a group. For toddlers, which is 18 and 23 months of age, it requires 1 adult for every 5 children to supervise, max 10 children in that group. For 2-year-olds, you need 1 adult for every 7 children, so max 14 in a group. So if a child care facility was billing the state of Minnesota for 99 children, i.e. Quality Learning Center, that child care facility would need to have at least 8 employees supervising those children. These cannot be 1099 employees. They have to be W-2 employees. That means we're going to have at least 8 W-2s, and we're going to have at least 8 I-9s. So if the feds went in and checked that, what do you think they're going to find? You already know the answer. One issue that is often brought up is that we are unfairly targeting the Somali community. This is a fair point to be made. As one Somali gentleman exclaimed in our second video, we're not the only community that does fraud. Fraud certainly exists in every community. It was the sheer volume and the blatant nature of the Somali fraud that demanded my attention. When one facility, Mako Childcare, has another childcare, mini childcare, registered at the same address, but the sign still says Mako Childcare, it kind of stands out. And again, no children, no footprints in the snow, ever. This is what I mean by being blatant. Misspelled signage, posted hours that require 2 licenses, no child footprints in the snow, not even once. So how did we arrive at this point? Why are we having this hearing? We got here because of politicians, almost exclusively Democrats. A couple of names come to mind. Jody Harpstead, the former commissioner of the Department of Human Services, and Shireen Gandhi, the current commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Human Services. Harpstead put the whole fraud on steroids. She was steering the ship from 2019 to 2025 during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is when the whole fraud network exploded into what we see nationally today and to what we see in my numbers, which are accurate. So now we hear that the Minnesota Department of Human Services is forging documents and backdating paperwork, all in an effort to cover up their complicity in this fraud. This is just more criminal behavior from the gang at the Minnesota Department of Human Services. It's criminal behavior. Minneapolis was the incubator for this nationwide fraud, which we're now seeing in Maine, we're seeing it in Washington State, we're seeing it in Columbus, Ohio. It was constructed here in Minneapolis. And the idea behind it was if you can get a population in here and fit them into this fraud framework, you have a guaranteed voting block for all eternity. The fraud was started and then it expanded out, and now you see it all around the country. So why is fraud bad? Why is it a bad thing? Why does anybody care? Fraud is bad because it steals from the blind, it steals from kids with cancer, it steals from disabled, it steals from the homeless, it steals from wounded veterans, it steals from everybody in this room. So what is the answer? How do we fix this? The way we fix this is that the federal government has to go to the Minnesota Department of Human Services and every social service agency and say, look, if you issue a payment using federal money and it goes to a fraudulent company, you run the risk of us coming in, arresting you, handcuffing you, parading you out, bringing you in front of a judge, and putting you in prison. So if you're going to issue a payment, you better make sure that it's a legitimate company. Otherwise, don't issue the payment. Go on Google Earth. Look at, it's a liquor store. It's a grocery store. Why are you issuing payment to a child care or a transportation company that doesn't even exist? Why are you issuing a payment? It's criminal behavior. The federal government has to use that cudgel over these people and say, look, you better be sure if you issue that payment that it's a legitimate payment or you could end up in prison. Thank you.
Need a lot more people like him. Obama's fingerprints all over investigations of Trump and Clinton. What? Well, presumably shutting down the investigations in Clinton. They're continuing to arrest people, this time at a Minneapolis McDonald's, for DUI and entering the country illegally. Bye-bye. Busted his window. Oh, this guy. Yeah, this is great. Seen this one.
What about the idea, essentially, not just that Republicans like or love Donald Trump, but believe he has been a good influence on the party? And here it is. Just look at this. Say Trump's had a good effect on the GOP among Republicans. When he left after term number 1, it was 71%. Just before he was running for that second term, right, it was 62%. Now It's again 71% of Republicans who say that Donald Trump has had a good effect on the Republican Party. I know that there are a lot of people out there, especially on the left, who say, oh my God, we just want to grasp that one little thing that, there's weakness in Donald Trump's grip on the GOP, weakness in MAGA's grip on the GOP. It just simply put isn't there even after this whole stuff that's been going on in Minnesota, which obviously hasn't necessarily been popular with the general electorate, but among Republicans, they liked Donald Trump, they like MAGA, they like J.D. Vance, and they believe that Donald Trump's had a good effect on the GOP as much as it has ever been.
It's as strong as it's ever been, not with independents, not with, like you said, the general electorate, but with Republicans, pretty clear, they're not going anywhere.
That's correct. Donald Trump, MAGA, J.D. Vance, they ain't going nowhere when it comes to the GOP.
Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs. Oh, yeah, she's under investigation. Pay to play. $400,000 campaign contribution she got, apparently, by a company that conveniently was allowed to skyrocket the rates that they were charging right after the donation was made.
Whether or not she was involved in a Arizona Republican lawmakers say they've hired a lawyer to investigate Governor Katie Hobbs and whether or not she was involved in a so-called pay-to-play scheme that involves Sunshine Residential Homes, which is a group home provider for the Arizona Department of Child Safety that donated $400,000 to both Hobbs and the Arizona Democratic Party around the 2022 election. So James Otis Law Group in Missouri, they have been hired as independent counsel, and they are one of the 3 different groups now investigating this. And according to the Arizona Republic, Sunshine was awarded a significant rate increase in its contracts shortly after the donations were made and after Hobbs took office. Governor Katie Hobbs tells 12 News that she's followed all campaign finance laws and has had no communications in rate increases, and DCS and Sunshine both deny any claims of wrongdoing in this. Arizona Republican law.
She did it. Guilty. At least if I were a betting man. American is calling daycares to get price. Oh, yeah. Just one of the videos, just how outrageous pricing is.
And they go from...
Especially when these Somali type people are just raking in money to the tune of $9.29 a week for a half day to care for sometimes their own children.
18 months to 3, and then the primary environment goes from 3 years to 6. 1 second. And you say you're looking for a half day, right?
Yes.
So for a half day, we do have a few spaces available as of right now.
Well, I wanted to know what the rate was before I scheduled a tour to see if I could even afford it.
Yeah, give me 1 second. We usually don't discuss prices over the phone, but give me 1 second, okay?
Sure.
So for a half day, that's 8 to 12, and your child is a toddler, so it's $9.29.
$9.29, and is that 5 days a week?
That's 5 days a week, half day.
Hi, I was calling to check rates and availability for a half day.
What is your child?
2 years old.
1 second, sorry. There we go. Okay, John Solomon and Senator Ron Johnson.
Whenever I read these stories, I think back to the start of the Biden administration where they canceled the program within the Department of Justice to investigate the theft of U.S. intellectual property on universities. I mean, that's where a lot of this intellectual property resides. And so, we have to recognize China. They want to be the world superpower. They practice Sun Tzu's art of war. Win the war without ever fighting a battle. They'll cheat, they'll steal. To them, it's all moral. There's no problem with it whatsoever. So we have to recognize that. That's pretty much their attitude. They are persistent. They are tenacious. They're going to do everything they can to steal as much of our intellectual property as possible and potentially use it against us. So we need to be fully on guard.
Yeah.
Senator.
I know a lot of folks go by the creed of diversity is our strength, but it certainly seems like when you have an institution, in this case, an educational institution that prides itself on diversity, it brings in, a diverse student body, in this case, possibly Asian students with connections to the CCP. Diversity is not our strength. It's actually our weakness because it brings weakness to national security.
You would think. James Comerson's final warning to the Clintons.
And a final warning shot if the Clintons decide to not show up at the end of this month.
Then,
what will happen?
Then I would say a supermajority of Congress will vote to hold them in contempt, and then it'll be turned over to Pam Bondi, just like when Navarro and Bannon were held in contempt by Congress. It was turned over to Merrick Garland, and they talk about precedents. I think Merrick Garland set a precedent for people who defied congressional subpoenas and were held in contempt of Congress. So after that point, then you need to refer your questions to the Trump Department of Justice.
And a final warning shot if the Clintons decide to.
LA Democrat Mayor Karen Bass, covered up part of the report into the Pacific Palisades fire over fears it would lead to lawsuits. Wonder why that would scare her. The trash wall in New York City is ridiculous.
I did a video about Mom Donnie not cleaning up the trash in New York, and people were like, oh, it's because of city snow, because of ice. Do you see this? This is because of nothing. Look, this is the Great Wall of New York City trash. This is now a national landmark, actually. You can't even see that there is a road on the opposite side of this. I'm about 6 feet tall. Look at this. This is my height. At the very least, I'll give it to Mom Donnie. They separated the recycles and the wall of trash. So you have a nice wall of recycles here and a beautiful wall of trash here. This is insane. I did a video about Mom Donnie not cleaning up the trash in New York, and people...
Ay, ay, ay. Democrats are now admitting to sitting back and smiling while the country was invaded. Oh, Mark Warner, yeah.
I think many people agree that Biden had a crummy border policy and let too many people in. I agree with that. But that doesn't mean you...
That's definitely one way to put it.
...then unleash these, in many cases, not fully trained individuals just to run mayhem across the city, which has seemed to be what happened in Minneapolis. I think many people agree that Biden had a crummy border.
Why did 195 Democrats vote against the Critical Mineral Dominance Act? Probably because they're owned by China, just a guess.
What was the vote and what's in that executive order?
The vote was 224 to 195 to pass the Critical Minerals Dominance Act. It will allow the Interior Secretary, Doug Burgum, to geologically map the country and determine which federal land can be leased for mining. Swift action on both leasing and permitting will take market share from China. Beijing accused of frequently weaponizing their rare earth dominance with trade barriers. Of course, this legislation still needs to pass the Senate, but it's looking good.
Why would 195 people vote against it? I mean, why?
Because it's
Trump's idea. Trump, exactly right. Thank you very much indeed. All right, Gordon Chang joins me now. Gordon, right off the top, how do you think China is going to react to this strategic minerals reserve?
I don't think China likes it. We know the statement.
Let's go to the Asian guy
from the foreign ministry about the new partnership that Secretary Rubio announced yesterday. They didn't like that. They were specific. They said countries should not form small groups that undermine trade. But, there's nothing Beijing can do. And this is just a natural reaction, Stu, because countries are going to try to create resilience because China is trying to choke off exports of rare earths.
Scott Besson destroys Pocahontas.
Senator, it may be a bit nuanced for you, but what
you don't say.
President Trump is referring to is the media saying that the affordability crisis was generated by this administration when it was you and President Biden who destroyed the buying power of the American people. So there is an affordability crisis, and you were front and center in it.
So let me make
Yeah, you did it, bitch.
sure that I understand. Donald Trump is not saying that affordability, what's happening to families right now, is a hoax.
He is saying that trying.
No, he's saying it's your fault. He's saying trying to blame it on Trump is a hoax.
To lay the blame at this administration rather than the Biden-Warren economy is a hoax.
Okay, so
Senator, it may be a bit nuanced for you, but what President Trump is.
I love when he gets snarky. It's funny. Okay. President made a joke apparently about her.
The president also made a joke about you that I won't repeat, Senator Warren.
that was the
Actually, I
easy
will.
one.
He said he had reservations.
You know, if this was a joke, why not just say so?
It was a joke, and he made a joke about you too, Senator Warren.
Yes,
got
he
a
did.
lot of laughs. Got a lot of laughs.
I bet it did. It's an easy target.
Increase. You used to
skip that. Arnie scraps Canada's EV sales mandate. Oh, wow. Looks like it was garbage to begin with. This is definitely something to pay attention to. Four prosecutors who spearheaded a $250 million Minnesota fraud case will not be in court at the next trial because they've all left their jobs in recent days. Out of nowhere. Along with more than a dozen others in a growing wave of resignations. What's going on? Americans demanding the denaturalization and deportation of Somali Ohio State Rep Ismail Mohammed after he filed legislation to block ICE enforcement and shield illegals. What on earth? How is this? Yeah, get him out. Goodbye.
I apologize for the delay. The president and I were watching the press conference about the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, which is just a heartbreaking situation. The president, as you all know, spoke directly with Savannah yesterday and told her that the federal government is here to help. Any requests that are made by state and local officials in the search of Miss Guthrie will absolutely be accommodated. I spoke with the FBI directly about that today as well. And our hearts and our prayers are with Savannah and her entire family as they search for her dear mother. I apologize for the delay. The president and I were watching the press conference. PM during prime time. President Trump, Dr. Oz, and National Design Studio Director Joe Gebbia will officially unveil Trump RX, a state-of-the-art website for American consumers to purchase low-cost prescription drugs. This historic announcement will save millions of Americans their hard-earned money. So make sure to tune in tonight, and we will see all of you in the news media there. Tonight at 7 p.m. during prime time, President Trump, Dr. Oz, and National Design Studio Director Joe Gebbia will officially illegal aliens were released into our homeland over the past 9 months. This is a truly remarkable achievement. Again, 0 illegal aliens released into the country in 9 months. This is staggering, and it deserves more attention from all of you. Overall,
yeah, this whole kidnapping thing's pretty weird. Guthrie's mother. This is all just boring review stuff. Okay. Alyssa Slotkin sent a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi and Jeanine Pirro informing them that she will not be sitting down with them for their inquiry over the 90-second video that she filmed, the disgusting video that she filmed back in November.
Hi, everyone. I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin from Michigan.
Earlier today, I sent a letter to Attorney General Bondi.
Oh, wow. You decided to make a video about it?
And to the lead Department
The tweet just wasn't enough?
of Justice lawyer in D.C., Jeanine Pirro, telling them, one, I will not be complying with their inquiries and sitting down for an interview based on a 90-second video I filmed. And number two, urging them to retain their records on this case in case I decide to sue for infringement of my...
Yeah, you know, I just decided I'm not going to be sitting down with them for the 90-second murder I committed. I'm, you know, just...
constitutional rights. Just to review the bidding, in November...
Oh, there's more.
Myself and others filmed a 90-second video restating current law that simply says uniformed military have a responsibility to refuse illegal orders. In response, the president tweeted about us over a dozen times, saying that we should be investigated, arrested, and ultimately hanged for sedition.
Well, I mean...
In response, the threats went through the roof to
not
myself,
wrong.
my family, my staff, and the FBI and the Department of Justice opened up an inquiry on me in response to the president's tweets. But at this point, I'm not going to be sitting down for this inquiry. I'm not going to legitimize their actions. The video we made was public.
Yes,
I've
you
done
will.
a ton of public talking about it since then, including now. And our Constitution is crystal clear on the issue of freedom of speech, something worth fighting for. To be honest, many lawyers told me to just be quiet, keep my head down, and hopefully this will all just go away. But that's exactly what the Trump administration and Jeanine Pirro want. They are purposely using physical and legal intimidation to get me to shut up. But more importantly, they're using that intimidation to deter others
They don't want you to shut up. They just want you to stop being retarded.
from speaking out against their administration. The intimidation is the point, and I'm not going to go along with that. That's why I've asked Pirro and Bondi to retain all records on this case in line with the law. Because the Supreme Court may have given the president near immunity on most matters, but they've given no such immunity to those doing his bidding. I don't want to be in this position. As a former CIA officer, I worked alongside the FBI and the Department of Justice in Washington, in Baghdad, my entire career. And I know the career professionals at those places don't want to politicize our legal system. But this is about more than just my case. It's about the ability to speak your mind and have freedom from fear. Because if they can do this to a sitting senator, imagine what they can do to a community leader, a business.
Or a community organizer. Oh, we're going for him too. Yep. Long arm of the law is going to come for the long-legged Mac Daddy.
And so...
Have you yourself been threatened? How
I've been the
serious are
subject
the
of-
threats?
Well,
Army Dylan.
You know, someone has been arrested for threatening me with terrorist threats. So it's no joke to be in the DOJ at this point in time. And so when you look at breaking into a car of a law enforcement official and then using what you find in there to dox people and publish their home addresses, suddenly it's not just that ICE agent, it's the children, the wife, the husband. This is a very serious matter. So if you think you can be some kind of a renegade militia to police ICE, you may spend many years in prison for doing that. It is a bad idea. That is not the way to protest. And protest is legitimate, and I cherish protest. I'm a person who's protested myself. That is not the way. So think of other ways to do it, guys.
Journalists finding multiple buildings in Portland, Maine, full of home healthcare businesses.
We're here in Portland, Maine. We found of the businesses that are registered in here, of the 20-something businesses, 10 of them are home healthcare businesses. As you can see, Prestige Home Care, Bright Star Home Care, Atlantic Community Support, 5 Stars Home Health Care, Prime Home Care, LLC. It's a trend we saw in Minnesota, one that the Minnesota House Oversight Committee on Fraud tells News Nation is a giant red flag. Large clusters of healthcare providers in one location. This building right behind me has 22 different home and community-based healthcare companies registered in the building. Inside this Portland office building, owner Ron Nevins agreed to speak with us.
I think I got 10 healthcare companies
which is probably about half, maybe a little less than half of this building.
So it's large anti-ICE protests now blocking the road outside of Columbia University in New York City.
No KKK, no fascist USA. No iron. No KKK, no fascist USA. No iron. No KKK, no fascist USA. No ice. No KKK, no fascist USA.
Senator Bill Cassidy, who voted to impeach President Trump, is losing his 2026 U.S. Senate election by a lot to Trump-endorsed Julia Letlow. Good. Bye-bye. A Los Angeles man named Derek Kalela has been arrested by the FBI for allegedly sending texts to the Guthrie family who asked for Bitcoin and see if they would respond. That's disgusting. How sick.
President Trump, we support you. We support ICE.
Oh, this fucking idiot. We already covered that. All right. Let's go back to all this stuff we skipped here. Yeah.
Zero illegal aliens were released in as Democrats and the liberal media are engaged in hysteria about this administration arresting and deporting violent, criminal, illegal aliens. The undeniable truth is that deporting these individuals is one of the primary reasons why America's streets are safer today than they were 1 year ago when President Trump assumed office. Former President Biden and the Democrats left our borders wide open, and President Trump and the brave men and women of ICE are removing these dangerous criminals. So here are just a few recent examples. Number one, a Venezuelan national and active Tren de Aragua gang member with a rap sheet including homicide, assault, child cruelty, domestic violence, and property damage. This is an individual I can assure you not a single one of you in this room would want in your neighborhood, whether you admit it or not. He entered the U.S. in 2022, and he was released into our country by the Biden administration. He is no longer here, thanks to President Trump. An El Salvadorian national and known MS-13 associate, previously convicted of homicide, conspiracy to commit homicide, and kidnapping, arrested for arson, battery, armed carjacking, and assault. He entered illegally in 2016, was released by the Obama administration, and ICE just arrested him on January 8th, 2026. This example shows you how many criminal illegal aliens have been roaming American streets freely because of a lack of attention to this matter from the previous administration, and President Trump is cleaning up their mess. A Cuban national and blood gangs member convicted of multiple homicides and robbery. ICE arrested him on October 27th and removed him on January 6th, 2026.
Ooh.
Arresting and deporting these types of illegal criminals is precisely what the American people voted for. So even
Voted for a lot more than that. Like, more of them leaving the country. So do more. Do more.
About this administration arresting and deporting violent criminal. President Trump promised to restore law and order to the United States of America, and newly released data proves he is delivering overwhelmingly on this promise. A study from the Council on Criminal Justice shows that the murder rate across America's largest cities plummeted in 2025 to its lowest level since at least 1900. Again, let me repeat, to put this in perspective, this marks the largest single-year drop in murders in recorded history. This dramatic decline is what happens when a president secures the border, fully mobilizes federal law enforcement to arrest violent criminals, and aggressively deports the worst of the worst illegal aliens from our country. The numbers don't lie. Under President Trump in 2025, the FBI increased violent crime arrests by 100% compared to the prior year. The FBI also conducted more than 67,000 arrests from Inauguration Day 2025 to January 20th, 2026, which is 197% more arrests than the same period previously. The FBI also disrupted 1,800 gangs and criminal enterprises, a 210% increase from the year prior. The FBI has arrested 1,700 child predators and more than 300 human traffickers across the country. Since President Trump took office, 6 of the FBI's top 10 most wanted fugitives have been captured. Right here in our nation's capital, where you all live, so you know it well, whether you choose to report it or not, the president's efforts to make D.C. safe and beautiful have worked. As of last week, D.C. homicides were down 62%, motor vehicle theft down 53%, and 2025 had the fewest violent gun crimes of any year of available data in our nation's capital. For more proof that these tough-on-crime efforts are working, look at the president's Make Memphis Safe Again campaign. As of last week, there have been nearly 5,600 arrests made, and aggravated assaults are down 53%. Sexual assaults are down 53%, and robberies are down 70%. Again, that's just in the city of Memphis. 5,600 arrests have taken place because of this president and his Homeland Security Task Force that has surged into Memphis at the request of both the governor and the mayor in that city. A Democrat mayor, I will add. These are the results that can happen when Democrats and Republicans, when the federal government and state and local officials work together. And that's what Trump wants to see to improve public safety across our country. When you have a leader like President Trump who empowers good cops to be cops and to arrest bad criminals, American communities will become safer. Many of the media outlets in this room have expressed shock and confusion at these remarkable statistics. The New York Times declared that, quote, "No one knows for sure what's behind the staggering drop in the murder rate. The reason is very clear. It is President Trump's leadership and his unwavering commitment to law and order. The drop in crime is more proof that all that is required to improve public safety on our streets is a leader with the will to do what is necessary to protect law-abiding American citizens. The terror and chaos that was unleashed under Democrat rule is a choice. It's a choice to put violent criminals ahead of innocent Americans, a choice to force us all to live in fear because of soft-on-crime liberal politicians, prosecutors, and judges who lack the basic willingness to do their jobs and put dangerous people behind bars. On November 5th, 2024, the American people made a resounding choice that they've had enough of that, and that's precisely why they reelected President Trump. So even as Democrats and the liberal media are engaged in hysteria about this administration arresting and deporting violent, criminal, illegal aliens, the undeniable truth is that deporting these individuals is one of the primary reasons why America's streets are safer today than they were 1 year ago when President Trump assumed office. By Democrats, despite desperate recent attempts by Democrats and those in the media to undermine the president's deportation agenda, these efforts are failing. Brand new Harvard-Harris polling shows overwhelming support for President Trump's efforts to protect law-abiding citizens from criminal illegal aliens. Nearly 8 in 10 Americans say criminal illegal aliens should be deported. A solid majority also support deporting all illegal aliens, regardless of additional crimes. And more than 2 in 3 Americans back the Trump administration's common sense requirement that state and local officials cooperate with federal authorities and work to hand over criminal illegal aliens in local jails for swift deportation. Despite desperate recent attempts by Democrats and those in
Okay.
The president has 2 end goals. One is to obviously keep the government funded and open, and that includes the Department of Homeland Security, which does not just touch upon ICE and Border Patrol, but also FEMA, the United States Coast Guard, the United States Secret Service. These are brave public servants who work to protect our homeland. The president wants these individuals to get paid. Secondly, when it comes to any discussions about immigration policy, the president is never going to waver in his commitment to allow immigration enforcement efforts in this country and to support ICE and Border Patrol and the deportation of illegal alien criminals. I know Senator Schumer and Leader Jeffries sent over a very long list of demands, some of which the administration is willing to discuss. Others don't seem like they are grounded in any common sense, and they are non-starters for this administration. But we're not going to negotiate policy from the podium. I'm going to allow the president to do that, and any final decisions that are made will be made ultimately by him. But rest assured, he is never going to allow law enforcement in the jobs that they do, the important jobs that they do, to be undermined. The president has two.
4 Americans tragically killed, lost their lives this week. From an illegal alien. Wow.
This is another abhorrent example of the border crisis over the past 4 years, and it again exemplifies why the administration must continue and will always continue to fully back and support ICE and Border Patrol and law enforcement in their removal of illegal alien criminals from our country. For those who don't know, and all of you should report on it, 4 Americans were tragically killed and lost their lives.
Sorry. Just got excited because I just tested out a new workflow. It worked. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Nigga, please. I forgot I said that. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Nigga, please. Oh, it didn't let her say it. That's funny. That's why I was testing it. See if it says see if it'll let them say naughty stuff. Interesting. First part worked. I gotta tweak it a little bit. Okay. See if I can get it to do it.
This week, yet again, from an illegal alien, an individual who was...
Then I got to get the voice transform side. I got to transform my own voice to Hillary Clinton or Trump or, whoever.
Paroled into the country by the Biden administration using the CBP One app, which they created like it was a magic pass for Disneyland. That's not how immigration in this country should work. And this illegal alien from Kyrgyzstan was traveling on an Indiana highway, and he failed to brake for a slowed semi-truck in front of him. He swerved into the lane, and he crashed into a van carrying 15 passengers, and 4 people were killed in that crash. This is another tragedy that could have been prevented if not for the wide open borders from the previous administration. That's why we now have a secure border. That's why this administration will continue to deport illegal aliens from our country.
You want to see how complex it is to make that? What I just made there? Look at this. See what goes into this. Look at this. There's our original input image, still of Hillary Clinton. The audio. Testing 1, 2, 3. Nigga, please. And then it just runs through all these freaking crazy steps, just one after the other, one after the other, one after the... Oh, and then a little prompt in the corner telling it what to do. It didn't do too bad. It took a little bit of troubleshooting. That's what I've been doing in the background here while we've been going through all these clips. Trying to get all this working. It took a while, but I got it. Fun, and now I get to toy with it. Oh, I gotta save it too. Yes. Good. Cool. Good fun. All right, back to it. Make one of her saying "Vote MAGA." I can do that. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm honestly kind of bored with the. I mean, not that I don't like her. I just these get so repetitive, dude. These press conferences. So why not? We'll have a little fun at the end. Last 10 minutes. Okay, let's go comfy. Let's modify the prompt a bit. Okay, we'll change that. Let's. What is my voice recorder app? I forget. Hold on, I had to download a new one because the old one, built-in one, did not work. They give me a desktop shortcut, at least. Record pad, there we are. Okay, let's see. So we want to have Hill Dog, unfortunately going to be my voice, but we'll make it funny.
Vote MAGA, bitches!
Okay, we'll take it.
Vote MAGA, bitches!
Why not? We'll make her sound like a monster. Roll. Okay. Well, I think we should be good to run. I just got to load that in. Where do they save these at? Okay, record pad. Where was that again? Give me that. Thank you. That's the right one.
Vote MAGA, bitches!
All right, let's run it. You can watch it run through its stuff here. There's the blue window. You can follow it. This. All these. This one takes a while. Sampler. It should finish relatively quickly. Since I just ran one on the same image. Should be less than a minute. Last one was about 2 minutes. Where did my chat go? There you guys are. Dooby dooby doo 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 doo. There it is. It's done. Cool. Just over 60 seconds. Not bad.
Vote MAGA, bitches!
Oh, see, it doesn't do the bitches. All right. So I got to search for a model that has been modified a little bit to be on more uncensored. Oh, in fact, you know what? I think I have one. I haven't tried it yet, so let me try loading that. Not there. Where's the model section? This. Not safe for work. Okay. Let's see how it does with that. We lost Panda A. Funny. Hey, it's oh, see, it doesn't like that. Didn't like the model change. VAE config that. Ah, see, it tried to. I see. I can fix that. Okay. A loader. We are. Output from combo. Into here. Run it. Meh. Hey, now that's not fair. Why'd that happen? Weird. Warren, I did that right. Nope, look at that. It's changing it. I don't know why it does that. Mysteries, things to troubleshoot. Oh well. I'll have to do some research into how to make the not safe for work model work. Let's change it back. Where's my new one working? That's not close. All right, well, we tried. You can do it without saying 4-letter words, you know, curse words. I guess it doesn't like curse words. Too bad. It was fun. All right, well, we got like 2 minutes left here. Let me see if we can find any last minute. Here was that Bess. Oh no, wanted to see Besson testifying.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but where does QAnon go for the apology? You know, I mean, QAnon, which believed in lots of really ridiculous things, like, you know, Democrats eat babies.
Yeah.
But they were kind of harping a lot on the idea that the elites are running this pedophile ring. And I mean, I made jokes about them. I also made jokes after the Epstein thing happened originally that were on the idea of, well, you know, like, obviously there was some smoke there. Well, now with all that's come out in the last couple of weeks, there's a little more than smoke. It does look like anybody who was at all able to get in touch with Jeffrey Epstein, he was the man.
We're doing it.
They just, yeah. I mean, and then they all lied about it. Everybody has, and the arrogance also of thinking they could just use their real name in an email, which they did, and didn't try to like couch it in, you know, when I used to get pot before it was legal, it was like, I'd like 2 shirts, please, you know, and no seeds in the shirts this time, you know, you had to sort of codify it. No, they're just openly talking in emails about this sort of, you know, sexual perversion, and that they were all doing, and lots of people who you didn't think, you know, or I never imagined were doing it. I see
Oh yeah, you'd never imagine it, huh, Bill?
these names come up. So
These people you pal around and party with, probably do drugs with, God knows what else with.
Oh, you know, I mean,
Yeah. Never could have imagined it. Catherine Herridge, just 7 minutes ago. Credible sources tell me that elements of the intelligence community, federal law enforcement, and Congress have targeted Tulsi Gabbard's Directors Initiative Group, or DIG, DIG, because it revealed uncomfortable facts and findings on several matters entrenched members of these bureaucracies don't want out there. Huh. I understand the push has been to disband, dismantle, or diminish the impact of the DIG and its work. As one example, I confirmed through multiple sources that the report and findings into directed energy attacks or anomalous health incidents were finalized and prepped for release weeks ago, but there's strong intelligence community resistance to releasing it. DNI Gabbard committed to a new review of the so-called Havana Syndrome after our 2025 independent investigation. Our reporting revealed that brain injuries suffered by U.S. spies, diplomats, military operatives, and civilians are progressive and can lead to brain cell death and atrophy. Yikes. When it was launched by DNI Gabbard, the DIG's stated goal was rebuilding trust in the IC by investigating weaponization, rooting out deep-seated politicization, exposing unauthorized disclosures of classified intelligence, and declassifying information that serves a public interest. Sounds like they're doing what they should be. At least the head office, anyway. All right, well, we're at the top of the hour. Let me see if my relief has arrived. Yes, it has. Hello, hello. How we doing?
Hi. Good.
Hey, hi.
How are you doing?
Doing great.
Oh my gosh, we had like almost 40 degrees today. It was wow.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
always like, even I mean, it sounds cold to some people, but to us, it's like a heat wave.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, feels so good to be warm.
Best. The best feeling, isn't it?
Yes, and the sunshine.
Oh, yeah.
There's hope. It's like spring thaw.
Yep.
It's a fake spring thaw, but
Yeah. Well, I will let you all get to it. Is Roxy joining you? Is
yes,
Roxy
she
in? Yeah,
is.
cool. Well,
I was just saying with my muted that we are my
Oh,
mic
you're
muted.
talking the whole time. That's fun.
We have butterflies and 83 degrees here.
Nice.
Oh, so I don't know. Weather's weird, right?
Right.
Hey, that Bill Maher thing you just read, isn't that wild? That he would say that about QAnon?
I know he used to hate on that so much. Like, for him to say that is funny.
But I mean,
Weird,
we can't
weird
forget
times.
he was the Kid Love Productions guy, right?
Yeah.
Right. I
That's
just
him.
saw something on that. Like he's so flip-floppy. Like sometimes he'll be like pro-Trump and like, ooh, that's really good, and then he'll drag him through the mud, and that like he flip-flops back and forth a lot.
Yep, is one of those.
Hmm.
Better than the alternative, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. I just remember him in that wizard outfit, and I don't
Creepy.
know.
Yep. Yep. Well, I'm gonna go get some dinner. I am still hungry here, so I need to finish. I only had an appetizer. So
Have a lovely night.
I will catch you all later. Yeah, you have a good show.
Thanks, Pam. Have a good evening.
Okay, see ya.
Roxy, I'm